Welcome to this explainer on navigating resource tables and cost metrics in MS Project. Look, if you've ever opened MS Project, you know the feeling. It's like staring into this overwhelming, endless ocean of data, right? Sometimes it honestly feels like you need a degree in data science just to find a single number. But diving into the source material showed me it truly doesn't have to be that way. Instead of treating these features as some massive hurdle, what if we looked at them as clear, interchangeable lenses? Let's dive right in and figure out how to view our projects perfectly.
So here's the big question. How exactly do you filter all that noise? Just imagine this. It's Friday afternoon, you just want to find out if your latest task is over budget, and instead, you are completely buried under 50 columns of totally irrelevant data. If you've ever stared at a massive schedule wondering how to extract simple cost or work metrics without getting completely lost in the weeds, believe me, you are not alone. It's an incredibly common frustration. We literally just want a simple number, and the software hands us a phone book. Well, today, we're going to fix that.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Demystifying MS Project tables. 2. Cost, work, and usage. 3. Gantt chart versus resource sheet. 4. Fixing work unit settings. And finally, 5. Spotting resource warning signs.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, Demystifying MS Project Tables. It all starts with understanding this one specific feature. I want you to think of a table simply as a lens you apply from the View menu. It filters that vast backend data into exactly what you need to see at that precise moment. See, when you click on the View menu and select a table, you aren't deleting or changing your underlying project data. You're basically just putting on a different pair of glasses to reveal specific activity or resource data. It is absolutely the ultimate tool for filtering out the noise. So how does this actually translate into actionable metrics?
Well, that brings us right to Section 2, Cost, Work, and Usage.
Now, this is really interesting because it clearly breaks down the three primary lenses you're going to use most often in your day-to-day project management. Right from the table menu, you can select Cost when you need to see the pure financials of your project. Easy. If you want to see the quality of work being done, well, you select the Work table. And if you need to understand how your resources are actually being utilized on a day-to-day basis, you just select the Usage table. Each one gives you this highly focused output, stripping away absolutely everything else. Knowing exactly which of these three to click is pretty much the secret to getting out of the office on time. To give you a real-world example straight from our source material, let's say you apply that usage table. Boom, it immediately calculates concrete metrics for you. In our source example, it revealed a total project work of 1,464 man-days. And let's actually slow down for a second and emphasize that number, because this wasn't the physical duration of the project, which is a super common trap for beginners to fall into. It was the total work in man-days for all the labor resources combined. Instantly, with just one click, the software did all the heavy lifting to give us that exact utilization metric.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this data behaves behind the scenes, especially with costs. When you apply the cost table, it's absolutely crucial to understand the cost roll-up flow. You start by loading your resources onto an activity. That creates the cost of the activity. Then the software automatically rolls that activity cost up into the work breakdown structure, or WBS. Finally, the whole shebang, those WBS costs, are rolled up into your total project cost. Why does this flow actually matter? Because it means you can see your financials at a micro or macro level with perfect accuracy, literally at any given moment.
Let's keep exploring. Moving on to Section 3, Gantt chart versus resource sheet.
Having those tables is powerful, for sure, but context is absolutely everything here. If you're in the Gantt chart view and you apply a table, the software gives you data strictly tied to your activities. But if you switch your view over to the resource sheet, it flips the focus entirely. I found it so fascinating that the exact same tables will now provide data strictly on your resources, your personnel, and your materials. You're using the exact same lenses, but you're looking at a completely different part of your project ecosystem. For instance, let's look at the work table while you're inside the resource sheet. The source material highlights something really clever here. It intelligently shows your labor resources, like say a helper, in time units, such as days or hours. But for your material resources, time units just don't make sense, right? You don't measure a bag of cement in hours. No way. So the software automatically shifts to displaying your material resources as specific quantities. It naturally adapts the output to make sure the data is actually meaningful to you without you having to manually adjust a single column. Moving right along, Section 4, Fixing Work Unit Settings. Now, we definitely have to address a classic software pitfall that can cause a lot of unnecessary panic. Have you ever experienced this? You look at your resource sheet, you apply your work table, and you realize a labor resource, like a helper, shows 568 hours instead of 568 days. It completely throws off your data reading. Honestly, you might think the entire schedule is corrupted and seriously consider throwing your computer right out the window.
Don't worry, the schedule isn't broken, and your computer is perfectly safe. This simply happens if you skip a crucial project setting before building your file. The golden rule is to always set your project options first. But hey, if you missed it, you can easily fix it. Just navigate up to the File menu, click Options, go into the Schedule tab, and find the setting called Work Entered In. You can change this to days, or if you prefer tracking manpower in hours, just set it to hours. It's a 5-second fix that saves literally hours of profound confusion.
Let's wrap things up with our final topic. Section 5. Spotting resource warning signs.
So let's look at what the software does automatically to warn you about the data populating in these tables, because MS Project is actually actively trying to help you keep your schedule realistic. When you're in the Gantt chart, you need to keep a really close eye on the indicator column on the far left. Just by loading your resources onto tasks, you might start seeing some striking visual cues. For example, in our source project, activities like all types of soil and earthwork, ordinary rock excavation, hard rock, adding filter media, and PCC, that's Portland cement concrete by the way, might suddenly be flagged in a bright red color in that indicator column.
So what does that actually mean? Well, those red indicators are MS Project's built-in alarm system. They're alerting you to immediate resource overallocation. Basically, it means you've assigned more work to a resource than they can physically accomplish in the given time frame, or there's a severe schedule conflict. The software is metaphorically yelling at you, saying, hey, look right here, this desperately needs your attention before you finalize this baseline.
Once you master switching between these tables, cost, work, usage, and you understand how to toggle between the Gantt chart and the resource sheet, resolving those red flags becomes so much easier. You aren't just guessing anymore. You have the exact data you need right at your fingertips. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought. How many hours or even thousands of dollars are currently hiding in your schedules simply because you've been looking at them through the wrong lens? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy scheduling.
If you want to master Microsoft Project with practical construction examples, join the online professional certificate course of AweNics. Learn from industry experts and build job-ready planning skills. Limited seats available. Join now.